You've worked hard to earn and save. Now it's time to make your money work hard for you. This is Empower Your Retirement with Frank and Frankie Guida of A Better Way Financial.
All right, if you are a business owner, pull up a seat because this one's for you. And actually, it comes from a personal place via you, Frank Guida, as a business owner yourself, a proud business owner here in the Lehigh Valley. You've been in the financial and retirement planning business for several decades, but A Better Way Financial as a business, is it about 15, 20 years old now? Is that right?
Yeah. We're knocking on the door at 15 next year.
So obviously, I'm preaching to the choir here by saying to you what it is to have your own business. It's nights, it's weekends, it's holidays, it's every day we're open in some sense of the expression. But let's talk about a business owner. And now that they're in their 50s or 60s, they're thinking about retirement, but they don't even know where to start. Frank, you have the luxury circumstance where Frankie, your son, has come in. He's a certified financial planner. He is coming up in the business. You guys are working together. But for a lot of business owners, they might have a circumstance where somebody in their family does not want to take the business over. That creates a whole nother set of things that they have to take care of, right?
Yes. And you know, I'm blessed that way. And I'm also blessed to have had so many of the business owners here in the Lehigh Valley that want to retire come to A Better Way Financial because they want to learn how to do it in a tax favored manner. You know, you know, it's that's important. You know, if you're going to sell a practice and give a whole bunch of money to the government, you know, you got to look for alternate solutions to that as well. And, you know, even selling a practice, we've sat down with many business owners and talked about, well, how do you go about doing that? There's many ways to do it. But one of the best, I do believe, is to sell that business internally. You know, if you have you know, some young people, maybe a family in the business or even not family, you know, but young people who are good at what they do, maybe have accumulated some money over the years and you want to sell that practice, you know, they can keep that continuity going. You know, that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to sell it to an outside source. But, you know, most of the business owners here in the Lehigh Valley, they care about their business and they care about their customers and their clients. And, you know, they want to make sure that goes smooth as well.
Yeah. And a lot of times when we do these retirement plans for people who are business owners, the business is usually one of, if not their biggest asset that they have.
Sure.
So if you don't put together a plan for how to manage that asset and for how to transition that asset into something that can produce income for you in your retirement years, you're really missing the mark. And there's even some people who are like, well, I'm just going to do this forever and I love what I do, but you want to have a plan in place. You need to have a succession plan because not always does everything always go to plan. You know, something might happen, you might have a health issue and you can't continue to work the business in the way that you're working it now. You want to have a plan so that this doesn't become a problem. It doesn't become a burden for your spouse or for your kids or for whomever would be inheriting it if something were to happen to you. You want to have a plan in place so that you can sleep in peace at night knowing, you know what, at least my business is covered. It's my biggest asset. My family's taken care of. Let's create a plan. Let's look at what we can do so that I don't have to stress about this. I don't have to worry about this in the future. And so this is what we do. We create the financial plan, the retirement plan around that business. We look into how to set up the transition of the business in a way that you're able to mitigate some of those taxes when you sell the business. And some of the strategies are something called a deferred sales trust. The way that works is, in essence, you sell the business in trust so that you're not having to realize all of the capital gains or all of the growth of that business at one time when you sell that business. In essence, what happens is you realize the capital gain when you take income rather than when you sell it. Because in essence, if you sell a business for $1 million and you're only taking out $50,000 per year from those assets, instead of getting taxed on the full $1 million where you're losing quite a bit of money right up front in the taxes up front, you're only paying taxes on the $50,000 of income that you're getting out per year with the deferred sales trust. So this is a strategy that we look into as an option to be able to lower some of those taxes in the future. Another way is through something called a charitable remainder trust is a way to be able to set it up. So if you're charitably inclined, you can set up a charitable remainder trust and sell some of the business in the charitable remainder trust. And what works there is it gives you a nice tax deduction for the monies that go into that. You can deduct up to 60% of your income from that charitable remainder trust that you're able to get. You're able to get an income stream from there as well and utilize that tax deduction to be able to do Roth conversions and transition more of the IRA 401k assets into a tax-free position as well. So we look into how does it all culminate with those different tax strategies, and how can we minimize your taxes over the course of your retirement years. And being a business owner, it gives you more options available to you than the layperson that doesn't have those options. So it's something that you want to be able to work with somebody who focuses on tax planning. Especially as a business owner, you've definitely paid your fair share in taxes. Usually you're paying not only the working taxes that you pay on the employee side, but then you're also paying the employer side of Social Security, of Medicare, and some of the other things as well. So let's try to make it so that as you get closer to retirement, as you create that succession plan, that we look to mitigate some of those taxes utilizing a tax plan designed specifically for you. And so if you are a business owner and this is something you haven't looked at, creating that succession plan, or maybe just want to have it reviewed, give us a call for your customized tax plan and review, where we're going to be able to go over what options you have to minimize your taxes over the course of the rest of your career and retirement as well. All you have to do is give us a phone call. That number is 610-440-3722 for your personalized tax plan and review. This is available right now for the next 5 callers. So business owners, if this is something you feel is important to you, give us a call, 610-440-3722. That's 610-440-3722. You
know, we had this a couple years ago. We had this couple come in. They were longtime radio listeners, and you know, they have this beautiful business. I mean, the business they've been in it for decades. They've made really good money with it. They've saved a lot of money, and you know, but they do have to sell it one day, and they do have to retire and enjoy the fruits of their labor. So they came to us and they said, well, "How do we do this?"
Yeah. They were like, what's the best way that we can transition this? I care about our clients. I care about the people we service. And I care about our employees. But I'm a little tired. I'm in my 60s now. I don't want to keep on doing this till I'm in my 70s. We need to start working on a transition.
And I just want to add, Frankie, you know what? When you own a business, that business kind of owns you too. And you work really, really, really hard for usually a long amount of years and that type of thing. And you know what? You have this income that you've created through that business. And now what you ultimately want to do is you want to turn that, not have the business anymore, not have the worries anymore, and turn that income into tax-favored income.
Yeah. And for an expression, I'd say having a business is a lot like having a kid, which I'm starting to find out a lot like what that's like. So sleepless nights and staying up and working all hours. I get what that's like. But that's what it's like, owning a business. And so you want to make sure that you can have that income without having all of those extra headaches. So the ways you can do it is by having that tax plan and review done for you on a complimentary basis, showing you what you can do to minimize your taxes and to be able to have that transition plan set up. And with this couple in particular, we helped work with them. We said, all right, well, what are the key components of your business? What's important? What are the important tasks that need to get accomplished? And who's capable of doing those tasks? And after we went through what that was, they said, well, I don't think there's any one person in our company that's suitable to purchase the company. We don't know that anybody's in that financial position. We also don't know that anybody can do all of the tasks. And so we went over it. We said, okay, well, what if there was a group of people? Well, how would that look like? And they said, well, actually, when we put it that way, there's 3 people that I feel like as a team, they would be able to run this business very effectively and very smoothly. And so they started to have a conversation with those folks, and they were all interested in buying the business and taking it over. And so we worked on, well, what does that transition look like? How can we make sure that this works for your company and then also for you guys as well? And they set up a deal and are now, they're semi-retired. They're still working part-time there and helping out as they can and wish to.
Well, I think one of the people was one of their sons, wasn't it?
Yeah, one of the people was one of their sons. Yeah. And so they're still a part of that transition, but now they're not having to deal with all the headaches of it. They're like, you know what, I'm paid hourly. I can just kind of help out when I want to, and I don't have to stress about, what's going on and how do we solve this problem? How do we solve that problem? That's no longer their responsibility.
Yeah.
And we were able to show them through a custom-made plan how to save them over $300,000 projected in taxes over the course of their lifetime, while also showing them how to save $150,000 projected for their children as well, and transition that money that they're saving in taxes into more retirement income, because they were looking to live on about $200,000 of income per year, and we were able to get them up to $255,000. And with their business that they had, they didn't have a pension plan. A lot of the small businesses don't have those types of pension plans, but if they could get an extra $55,000 of income per year, they were pretty happy with that.
After tax.
After taxes as well, yes.
Growing with inflation.
Yeah. So this type of planning that we do, we help find out, well, how do we get the most bang for your buck? How do we get the most income out of your retirement assets, out of your business, so that you can enjoy it and use it for what you desire in your retirement? And so if you're a business owner, or if you just want to have a better idea of what you can do to mitigate your taxes and set yourself up in retirement where you can maximize your retirement portfolio, give us a call for your complimentary tax plan and review. This is going to be available right now for the next 5 callers. So if you're 55 and older and you've saved $500,000 or more for your retirement, give us a call, 610-440-3722. That's 610-440-3722 for your complimentary tax plan and review.
Thanks for listening to Empower Your Retirement with Frank and Frankie Guida. To learn more, visit abetterwayfinancial.com.
By contacting us, we'll review aspects of your retirement portfolio to include suggestions about how best to utilize estate, tax, and retirement planning strategies and other financial services, or if changing management styles is appropriate for your specific needs and objectives. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendations to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate, and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. A Better Way Financial is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Any client experiences discussed during this show are unique to that client, and they are not meant to imply or suggest you will experience the same results. Advisory services offered through A Better Way Financial. Insurance offered through licensed professionals at A Better Way Financial. Pennsylvania Insurance License number 301779.